Hello, people. Hang on one sec. Here I am. Let me see how I fix this on here. So, trying to figure out how I make it. Is anybody on my public page or parent team on my public page? Looks like so on Carpal Constitution earlier, and then I realized my sound went out. I'm back, and I wanted to talk about the HUNT Institute. I'm live. Let me get Oh, okay, sorry. Privacy. Yeah, I'm live on my page. Anyway, so I'll get started and then I'll make it live. Okay, so let's talk about the HUNT Institute because that is the big thing. So there is a upcoming Virginia, I'll pull it up. It's a great thing about being at home and not in my car. Keep updating it. Okay. So I've shared it here. So this is what it looks like. Oh, sorry. So right here, they've been having them, which is unfortunate. It looks like we missed, why can't I scroll? It's really weird. It's really big. Let's see. Southwest Virginia and Stafford. Looks like Manassas was Tuesday, and today is Bedford. Okay. Chesterfield Monday. Chesapeake 6:30 Wednesday, and then this is Emporia on Thursday. I've shared the link. Registration. And this is being done by the HUNT Institute, which page doesn't make any sense because the HUNT Institute is an NGO. And what is an NGO? An NGO is, oh, here it is. MI Public. Edit audience. Public. There you go. So an NGO, what is an NGO? A non-government organization. And I shared this. So they are holding VDOE. Now I get this through the Teacher Direct. Sign up for it. Get lots of great stuff. Curriculum, what they're doing with their kids. But I got this and I was like, those are the HUNT Institute colors. That's interesting. And so tonight, Bedford County Public School, Bedford, Virginia. Chesterfield County is on Monday, 6:30 to 8 at the Chesterfield Technical Center on Hull Street. 64,000 children. But that also means if you're in Hanover, if you're in Mechanicsville, if you're in Louisa, if you're in Amelia, if you are in Fluvanna, if you are in Goochland, if you are anywhere within, an hour, come. You don't have to just be in Region 1. And then on Wednesday is Chesapeake Public Schools. So that would be all Tidewater, Virginia Beach, York, Poquoson, Williamsburg, that is Wednesday, Chesapeake. And then Thursday is Emporia, Virginia. So if you know anybody, Southwest Virginia, South Boston, South Hill, Clarksville, Chase City, anywhere down yonder, because that's where my family's from. But it's listening sessions on accountability. Okay. And then if we go back to the page, which I have linked, they have revised the regulations establishing standards for accrediting public schools. Pretty much, accreditation. Oh, look, every student that Virginia might be the only state that has no idea what it is. That would be Barack Obama. This would be what replaced No Child Left Behind. It's all still in play. It's just not called No Child. No Child Left Behind never went anywhere. Obama revised it to Every Student Succeeds At. I made it worse. Why did teacher unions stop talking about it? Because they were no longer held accountable. That's why they were mad and hated standardized encompassed No Child Left Behind, was because they were held accountable under No Child Left Behind. Obama got rid of that. So that's why this teachers unions all of a sudden stopped caring about children not being cookie cutter. So I tried to get people to comment when Youngkin was revising this. But this is where the cesspool of education came from. Would be 21st century schools is probably, that's socialism. That's everything that they're doing. But let's see, you can go through the applications for this are really bad, especially when James Lane. But accreditation, I don't know if you've heard, solely based on the attendance problem. They can't get anybody to go to school. So like, I've had so many parents that moved to Chesterfield because Chesterfield believes in accreditation over education. They don't care about it. They don't literally, but people don't know what accreditation. It's a moving needle. The needle moves no matter, depending on who's in power, how. So accreditation used to mean like, that's an amazing school. The kids are getting great grades. That's not what accreditation means. Like, so in Chesterfield has always prided themselves on being 100% accredited. Okay. If you don't know what accredited means, you're going to be like, oh, those kids are doing great. I mean, it's wonderful. Where to be accredited, it's based on attendance. But if you pull Chesterfield County, there's like 36 schools in the red that are still considered accredited. You used to be able to go after a division's charter because accreditation meant that if you had teachers teaching algebra who were not, okay, that's why we have instructional aides, permanent subs, lifelong subs. Teaching doesn't really mean teaching anymore because it's student-led learning, which is, by the way, pedagogy of the oppressed plus Karl Marx, the Marxist approach to education, teacher-led learning, or student-led learning, which is we hear all the time. But I wanted to bring up, so that's what this is about, but it's also about upcoming accountability listening sessions. So you go here and you can register. Okay, fill it out. They want like, but so it's like learn about the Hunt Institute. Okay, right here. Oh, and real quick, why do I know so much about the Hunt Institute? Is because there's a man called Javid Siddiqui. Let's pull up the Hunt. Let's see, where's my Javid Siddiqui was on the Chesterfield, not this past term, but the term before that. when James Lane was the superintendent. The James Lane, Dr. James Lane, who went on to the Department of Education under Northam, Ed Equity, how to be an anti-racist educator, transgender, social emotional learning. That James Lane was the superintendent here in Chesterfield. So social emotional learning surveys on your children, behavior actually called, mental health your kids to death, is that we were way prior to COVID. Our contracts go back to 2017. So if you have a division that's just now bringing this on board and you want to prove to them how horrific it is, talk to Chesterfield. We've had it going on forever. But let's see. Pull up when I pull up. What pops up real quick. So Javeed Siddiqui was on the Chesterfield County School Board while the CEO of the HUNT Institute. And nobody really found that to be a problem, which baffles my mind. But he was also Bob McDonald, one of his, he was also one of Bob McDonald's secretaries of education. With Carrie, by the way, guys, he was on the school board with Carrie Coiner, for those of you in Chesterfield. That's a signal right there. But then he switched to the But the fact that he was on the Chesterfield County School Board and CEO of the HUNT Institute at the same time is a huge problem. But it brings the question of who is the HUNT Institute and why are they having these Department of Education anythings? They're a non-elected NGO. And by the way, they are from the state of North Carolina. They're not from Virginia. Because there's just like school boards are just doing what they're told. The Department of Education is making no decisions on their own. Federal, unconstitutional in the U.S. Code as illegal. But yet we sit here and we let it happen because that's what we do, right? We don't question anything. We've had freedom so long that we take advantage of it. But the HUNT is it is the uniparty swamp, is what I thought. And if you look on my page, it's very easy to see that when you have a room full of people, they were in here in Chesterfield earlier this week at the Chesterfield Technical Center. When you have a room with Ghazala Hashmi, Elock, Lucas, Mike Cherry, Carrie Coiner, Glenn Davis, Amy Gadara, is if you don't recognize that there's a problem, when you have Tim Kaine last year as the keynote speaker with the Republican Party and the Democratic Party all in a room deciding what's going on with our children in education, you don't even have to know what's going on. You just have to have that knowledge. And then the knowledge that the Department of Education is having a commenting session run by an organization out of okay. So I've shared so much of this information. So Virginia's for Learners, the HUNT Institute, January 2019. Javeed Siddiqui would have still been sitting on the Chesterfield County School Board while writing this document. But guys, by the way, if you don't know anything about Education Commission of the States, but a learner, not a student, not a pupil. It's literally a completely different term. When Virginia went, I always make the joke, it's for earners. It's for a workforce. But college and career pathways. This is the document that they made. Talent pipeline. But right here, let's see. Who was at this? Okay. You've got Education Commission of the States. That would be federal. Superintendent that's funny, not really Hunt Institute, is North Carolina. Why was she here making decisions? Let's see, we got a delegate, Jeffrey Bourne. Okay, another group you need to know, guys, state school officers, CCSSO. They're the ones with Bill Gates and Amy Gadara that created the statewide longitudinal database here in 2009. Okay. Bill Kennedy, he was the Board of Education. He was the state superintendent a couple terms ago. But Jenna Conway, Chief School Readiness Officer. Okay, she's a big one. When you need to know who she is because half of the propaganda is coming from her. Michelle Cottrell, from Arlington, Virginia. Guys, Arlington is a division that, if you want to know, that is silent, that everything is pumped in through Arlington. Let's see. Oh, equity and community. Okay, so then you got Daniel Gecker. He is, thank God, finally not the president of, but here, the PTA, if you didn't know, the Iron Triangle of Education is the AFT, the NEA. That is the Iron Triangle of Education. So you've got the PTA involved in this. You've got, let's see, a principal. Who's Stephen Lands? I don't know him. Oh, look, Dr. James Lane. There he is. Oh, with Mamie Locke. Okay. Look, you got Albemarle. Got to have Albemarle in there. Harrisonburg. Atif Corney. If you didn't know, that was James Lane's sidekick. He's the one that is bonkers all over. You haven't been following Atif Corney. Oh, good Lord. But then it gets really interesting is that right here, Alan Siebert, Youngkin's appointee, who is currently on the Board of Education, who's a total globalist out of Salem. So Javid Siddiqui, look, president and CEO of the Hunt Institute, while still on the Chesterfield County School Board, by the way. Let's see. Of course, you got to have Hampton Association of Superintendents. Oh, Sonia Smith, my favorite person. She's the one who I have the FOIA with between Chesterfield County and Sonia Smith, Thomas Taylor, who's now in Stafford, where they pretty much, laid out how they would go back to in-person instruction. But where Thomas Taylor called us racists and bigots. So you got the VEA. Let's see. You've got, who is that? Mamie Locke. You've got Bulova. You've got Alan Siebert, who is now on the Board of Education. Dr. Stephen Staples, who was another former. Stephen Staples is the one that got the warning from the OIG that none of our data, how our children's data was stored, none of it was in compliance, and it could all be hacked into. And I think 2014, maybe. And then we got University of Richmond. Man, can't wait to go law school there. And so this is right here a list of, it's just an example of how Hunt Institute works. And then you bring into the question deciding anything to do with our children or our education. What's this? 3 days ago. Look, Henrico NAACP. I just searched Hunt Institute. Attending the Virginia Education Summit. Look at Louise Lucas. There you go. What's right here? Oh, there's Javid Siddiqui, former Chesterfield County School Board member. But look who's next to it. Oh, that's Gary Coiner, our liberal Republican red seat in Chesterfield. she created the Equity Committee in Chesterfield in 2017, by the way. They were on the school board together while he was CEO of Hunt Institute under James Lane. And then sandwiched in the middle, Lucas. And then, of course, you got to have VCU in there. Okay. I'm not going to look. There's, you can see there's Gary Corner. And so I happened to pop in to this quickly. Oh, let's zoom in. Who's that? That's Ann Holton, Tim Kaine's wife, with that looks like Grace. She's the private school, the one ruining private schools at the Department of Education. Who else we got? Who's in here? I'm just going scrolling through whoever this lady is, her pictures. So these are the sessions that they have. These are all my posts. Let's see. I got a lot in here. So when we talk about NGOs who are running our education system, which is not how it works in a constitutional republic. This is one from 2017, the Department of Virtual Virginia Advisory Committee, 2017. You need to know who I Know Cal is. It's now known as the Aurora Institute. They are the head of the comprehensive-based education that is destroying it. But what was really interesting was when I started to look at, you know, this is Merv. I don't want to see Merv. Let's see, where is it? Look, is it bizarre that a global, because remember, if we go back, I'll show you, but it's got UNESCO. So it's really institutional members. Okay, you've got Chesterfield, Virginia here. Okay. But down here, I cut it off under corporate members. It's like Intel and Pearson. I'm sure when I go back to my pictures, it'll pop up. Look, Quinter voted with the Dems last year. Here, I said it. Her swamp record goes back to the CCPS school board with James Lane, SEL, Equity Committee, Hunt Institute, CEO. Is her bestie. He was Hunt CEO while on the CCPS school board. She's the one that voted down the transgender. But here we go. The Hunt Institute hosts Virginia's House Education and Senate Education and Health Committees in Norfolk. This was December 2021. Virginia is the first state when we began expanding our state legislators' retreat model. I spoke to a senator who said it's like going to a sweat lodge where you walk in a Republican and you walk out a liberal. Said Dr. Javeed Siddiqui, president and CEO of the Hunt Institute. This year, I'm most excited for policymakers to tour our state-of-the-art early childhood education center. Where's Delana? That shows they value equity through their mixed income model. Equity must be present at every stage of a student's education journey. Okay? Republicans, Democrats. So this Bulva, Glenn Davis, every year that this man was in office, he was spearheading these things with Tim Kaine. Okay. Tim Kaine. There we go. James Lane, Louise Lucas, Jennifer McClellan. Oh, look, Ralph Northam's wife, Pamela Northam. Sheila Bailey, Norfolk State, Virginia State, Sutter Lane. I mean, what could be better? Holly Coy, Assistant Superintendent for Policy, Equity, and Communications. Oh, wonderful. Oh, couldn't get any better. This was 2022. The summit brought and practitioners together from around the country in Virginia to share their knowledge and engage legislators in constructive dialogue about critical education issues facing the Commonwealth. The events was chaired by the Senate Education and Health Chair, Senator Louise Lucas, and House Education Committee Chair Glenn Davis. So those are just some snaps from my public page. Philip Pep. This would be, and again, okay, so I made a big deal. So this would be, Javid was the I made this post a long time ago. Oh, but look who was a fellow. I found this out, a former Yunkin appointee, but when I found it originally, when she was in Wyoming, she was a fellow at the Hunt Institute. Who else has been a fellow? Filler Korn, Louise Lucas, Mamie Locke, Jennifer McClellan, LeVar Stoney, Tag Greason, Mark Herring. But they say what? They are nonpartisan, correct? Okay. We've gone over some of these. These are just some fun facts. Oh, I have links here. Sweet. Makes my life easier. This will be a 2021 Virginia Education Summit. Opening remarks, Pamela Northam. Teacher workforce policy and practice. Learning acceleration using, I don't think we've had any learning acceleration. Reception and dinner. School funding and federal relief. Resource expert. When you have Tim Kaine as the resource expert, who is a member of the Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee for the United States Senate, former governor of Virginia, as the resource expert for what to do with your COVID money. Data. That man wants to link everybody to everything. He wants to scan our eyeballs. He wants to have our fingerprints when we open it. I mean, Mark Warner and Tim Kaine are doing in the Senate, and then I think it's not bleeding over into the state of Virginia and the education system. When Ann Holton, his wife, just left 8 years on that school board or on the Board of Education, lost your mind. So this is just a little breakdown. Oh, there's Ann Holton. Go back here. It's a more comprehensive one. It's called the Hunt. Okay, this is the ones that are fellows. It's called the Hunt Keene Leadership Fellow cohorts. That's how many. So these would be your, if you want to figure out if you're in a different state, who your problem delegates or senators are. You would go to the Hunt Keene Leadership Institute. Oh, look, Glenn Davis. He must have been the most recent. So we go from Glenn Davis. And before Glenn Davis, it was, where am I looking for? That is Virginia. That's West Virginia. I'm at Virginia. Oh, Filler Korn. Glenn Davis, Filler Korn. And then before that, got the esteemed State Senator Lucas. And then right here, see how it says Virginia? This would be years ago. This used to say Wyoming. I think that's where she's from, right? Yeah, Wyoming. Because, make that go away. Go away. Okay. Because Virginia already had someone. All right. She was not Virginia. Oh, right here. Can't have two Virginias. So this used to be Wyoming. So Balo came into Virginia after already being a fellow at the Hunt Institute. Hunt Institute, Mamie Locke before that. Before that, McClellan. And then tell me that a Republican school board member being the CEO at the same time of this organization while seated in Chesterfield County with James Lane and Kerry Coyner isn't a problem. And so for those of you just joining, the reason I'm going through who the Hunt Institute is because they are currently the people holding the tonight in Bedford, Monday in Chesterfield, Wednesday in Chesapeake, Thursday in Emporia. I posted. Unfortunately, we missed about half of them in Manassas, Stafford, Roanoke, and Southwest Virginia. But at least we can go to 4 and show up. But guess what? You can also public comment. So here's the discussion they had. Accreditation reports, federal accountability. This is not up to date. We know that much. Those of you that know is now almost strictly based on attendance. So what is accreditation? It's a moving needle. Accreditation means nothing because your charter is based off of your accreditation. So if your accreditation is garbage, how do you ever hold your division accountable through their charter? You can't. I think I hear a child coming. Good thing I'm not talking. Bar Stoney. We're just going to go all the way back. Cohort 2 is no Tag Greason. I'll have to come up to speed on him. Oh, there's a cohort 10. Guessing that comes after cohort 9, which was Glenn Davis. Good Jesus.
Mama.
Hold on, baby. You say hi? I'm floored. Hey, go. Hey, I'll be done in a minute. But, oh my God, I didn't know this. So cohort 10 of the Sweat Lodge ceremony that you go in a Republican and come out a liberal lunatic destroying our children's education is our lieutenant governor. I can't. Notice though that 9 was Glenn Davis, and then it was liberal. But this is the Hunt Institute, by the way. And then we already went over Virginia's for Learners. What else do I have on the Hunt Institute here? Oh, look, somebody posted 2 days ago from Brunswick. Oh, they're proud to be with. Oh, who do they have a picture? Co-founder Men of Color. Oh, Grow Your Own. If you don't know about Grow Your Own, oh God. Oh my God. Senior Manager for Educator Capacity of the Chan Zuckerberg Institute. This was on December 5th, 2 days ago. Was at the Hunt Institute. Chan Zuckerberg. Amazing what you can find. And this is what's great about Chesterfield is when he went to the VDOE, they literally put out an article that said the hunt to find another James Lane. These are the same pictures I think I put. So these are more pictures of the Hunt Institute. So of course you got Coyner, we got Glenn Davis, Locke. Yeah, she loves me, man. Oh, there's Hashmi and Lucas and Locke. And a lot of people were upset to see him. And I'm not saying that you're automatically guilty because you can't name how bad this organization is because you see certain people. Okay, like somebody said they saw Batten and Freitas. Like you can't negate because they're simply in a picture. I'm not saying that everybody's horrific, but you have to take it as a whole. Oh, Donna can't. Oh, this was the press release. moments ago, the Virginia Education and Workforce Conference is what it was called, hosted by the Chamber Foundation. That's the Chamber of Commerce. The Virginia Talent and Opportunity Partnership concluded participation with over 400 attendants. Needs of our modern workforce to prepare today's learners for tomorrow's. But most people still don't get that the purpose of education is not to get a job, much less be directed by your one-to-one device based on your skill and competencies, what job they already deem you for. That's what they're doing. So you got Glenn Davis, Filler Korn, McClellan, and Pillion. Okay, Glenn Davis. I'm honored to receive the Virginia Chamber of Commerce Free Enterprise Award. They're talking about our children, by the way. Okay. The Chamber is unapologetically pro-business and continues to support bold initiatives to help the next generation of entrepreneurs succeed, small businesses flourish, and relocate successful companies to bring large numbers and jobs with them. All I can hear Yunkin and Gadara, because their North Star is to recruit and retain businesses and to create a workforce. That's their point of education. Can I get in here? Oh, there's Filler Korn making her statement. Working in Virginia, the Todd Pillion, the best place to live, work, and raise a family. Who does that sound like? I feel like I hear an echo. Red Bit. This is additional highlights from the conference include William and Mary. Let's see if there's anybody. Why is Von Secors there? Cox Communications. Because they're the people deciding what skills our children need to learn for the 21st century. But oh, look, panel discussion. Creating an economy for all. Oh, Kirk Cox. God help us. Because most chiefs are sitting there going, I don't understand what's wrong with this. Not making fun of you, just saying. So this goes back, way back. So this will be the 2016 Virginia. And then again, here we are, because I was just sharing screenshots at this point. Oh, one day ago. Welcome cohort 10. That would be our lieutenant governor. Whole child education. Whole child education, by the way, is Chan Zuckerberg and the CDC. So I'll go ahead and copy and paste that. But the reason I'm on here is because to tell you that when you have non-government organizations making decisions from different states regarding what happens to our children, they're not elected, that we don't live in this is not a free world. This is not a constitutional republic. Let's admit it. You can watch on YouTube. If you look up, this would be day 2. There's the link. This happened a couple days ago. So I share all of this stuff, not because I have no life and I'm completely bored and I have nothing else to do, so that you start understanding how the pieces go together. And I think when I posted this, did I not post? But if you open up this one, then you'll get day 1 when you look at it. Oh, Van Valkenburger. Look. 2 days ago. Enjoyed spending yesterday at the annual education committee retreat hosted by HUNT. We had great conversations on early education, how we fund schools, literacy, learning loss. That it was suicide, mental health. When I happened to pop my head in there, which I got. Huh? It was great. But I'm just looking at HUNT Institute. Humbled to share in a meaningful discussion about K-12 mental health and suicide prevention. This is obviously a different state. What state are you? So obviously who are you? This would be Pennsylvania. So there's you in PA. Okay. That's exactly what so they had theirs in November. Okay. Happy to represent the American School Counselor Association. K-12 mental health and suicide prevention is what was talked about at ours. It is what is talked about at theirs. So this looks like a different state. K-12 literacy. This would be science of reading. This would be a different state too. Oh, there's Javid Siddiqui in Illinois. But remember, school board member, Chesterfield. Okay. Let's see. This would be Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Talk educator diversity. So it's important to know who people are, just like, but it's important to understand and ask the questions and show up. Chesterfield. Like I said, if I've been to your division from Chesterfield and you're within 45 minutes, I hope to see you on Monday. Because you don't have to live in Chesterfield to come. Okay. Chesapeake. They show up. We have no excuses. When else are you going to be able to comment or to hear it for yourself? Never. Opportunities like this, if you don't take advantage of them, or at least submit a public comment, please. Public comment. The link's right in. It's in the. So, again, we asked the question: why are these people a part of? It's like asking, why is Jeb Bush and Excel and Ed the people that are deciding what our children learn and how things go? We didn't elect them. That means it's not a constitutional republic. That means our elected officials are not doing, we don't have, you don't have, what is the Declaration of Independence? King George was a dictator, a totalitarian dictator, because in the colonies, we did not have we the people representation in Parliament. Literally Declaration of Independence. No taxation without representation. So if you live in a division like I do, where you have a senator that is going to Richmond to support the governor's conservative agenda, totalitarianism, that's not called we the people, because he's not going to represent his constituents, which seems to be the new narrative that people are like, versus a red vest. No, it's not different. It's not different. America's America. The Constitution, everybody has to abide by the Constitution. You pass a law that's not constitutional, what do you do about it? I literally had a senator tell me, as a duty bearer, job is to make rights known to the public, respect them, enforce them. Human rights, that would be parental rights. We would have to sue people because they, as duty bearers, could not do anything. And if Miares wasn't going to do anything, parents were screwed. Bravo, Virginia, is what I'm going to say. So sign up, speak, and understand that we are literally not a sovereign nation, because it's not just in UNESCO. It's not just your own division. making decisions for your own constituents, which is what school boards should be doing. We're 50th in the nation. When are we going to start questioning that even state forced education isn't right? It's not even constitutional in Virginia. It's very clear with 70 years of Virginia Supreme Court cases that your division has autonomy over the state. That means we definitely have autonomy over an unconstitutional and illegal federal education, and especially over a global. So hope to see you guys then.